As the 2015 summer season comes to a close and all the Halloween stuff starts to come about, or getting ready for all the Christmas events, it is time to reflect on how this year has been. So this entire month is dedicated to top 10 coasters, top 10 amusement parks, etc., etc. The first one will be on the top 10 wooden coasters that I have personally been on. This countdown has changed dramatically. It is a different countdown and is not even close to what the other countdown used to be. So let's get started. Number 10 is the Wild One at Six Flags America. This definitely lives up to its name. It is definitely a wild one with so much airtime for how old it is. This is currently the oldest roller coaster that I have personally been on, and also the only coaster that I think Din Corporation actually had any success on. Yes, this roller coaster was great, and it was manufactured by Din Corporation. Number 9 is Blue Streak. Some people would probably be surprised that this even makes the countdown, but yet Blue Streak does make the countdown, and like the Wild One, it just has relentless airtime, just airtime after airtime, and is a very fun ride, and it's the only wooden coaster that actually has a really cool color scheme. I really wish that more wooden roller coasters would actually have color to it, and it's a really cool color. I like that style of blue too. And this is definitely going to cause some argument. Number 8 is Wildcat at Hershey Park. A lot of people consider this to be one of the roughest wooden coasters and just not a good ride. I enjoy this ride. I definitely agree that it can be a little bit rough, but it's tolerable. It's definitely not as bad as Roar at Six Flags America. That is terrible. And that's because this has the Millennium Flyer train, so it's got some soft padding and it's a very fun ride. It has some great turns and some nice airtime. I don't remember this coaster being as good as it happened when I rode it. This ride was just incredible, and it's fun, and it is an okay coaster. Number 7 is the Grizzly at King's Dominion, and I'm going to compare it to the Beast a little bit, whether you like it or not, just because it does have some similarities to the Beast, and I like both Beast and Grizzly for having a great secluded layout. Although Grizzly is not as secluded as the Beast, it is still very secluded. Both coasters have intense drops and some nice curves and great tunnels. So back to Grizzly. Grizzly is a great ride. Out of all the coasters at King's Dominion, this coaster has the best nighttime ride. So out of all the coasters, I recommend you definitely ride this one. It has a great nighttime ride because you cannot see the drop. It just goes straight into the drop at a very steep angle and curve and just takes you straight up into the first turnaround. It has some great airtime too. This has about the same amount of airtime as the Rebel Yell, and it's perfect airtime. It just ejects you out of the seat and throws you around, so it can be a little bit rough, but it is still a great ride. Number 6 is the Racer at Kings Island. It is personally one of my favorite coasters at Kings Island. This is one of the classic airtime woodies that you see at most parks like Kings Dominion or Blue Streak at Cedar Point, and is a great ride, although it is not as good as what's in the next countdown, which if you can already predict what is going to be next, and you're probably going to be correct. But even though it's not as good, it still has some great airtime to it, and it's just a fun ride. I like how this coaster actually races quite often. I went on a Monday and it was racing with both trains. So, I mean, the Kings Dominion and some of the other parks got to step up their game. And yes, if you predicted it, Rebel Yell makes number 5. Rebel Yell is a great coaster, and I think unlike some of the other wooden coasters in this countdown, this coaster is relentless. It does not lose its speed. Maybe on the turnaround it'll lose some of its speed, but it just is not stopping. It just goes airtime, airtime, and big airtime, then goes in for more airtime, and it just never loses intensity, and it has a great drop. Although what's been happening lately, and this I find this disappointing, is that if you're not in the first 2 rows, it can get pretty bouncy. Not rough, just bouncy. So it can feel kind of rough, but other than that, it is a very fun roller coaster. I love the Rebel Yell. Number 4 is the Beast at Kings Island. This is a fun roller coaster. Oh my gosh, does this live up to its name? Although the general public says this ride isn't that good because it is pretty rough and it's not as fun as some of the other coasters. However, I have to disagree because this is a very fun roller coaster. It just does not stop. It has some great speed, although the only thing I don't like is it's so spread out, but that's what makes it cool at the same time. So it's just very fun, and the nighttime ride is all well worth it. Number 3 is probably the best GCI coaster to ever be made. When I got to go to Hershey Park, it was so much fun. I don't remember it being that fun. It had some great airtime and twist to it. It lives up to its name being the Lightning Racer at Hershey Park. This ride was incredible, and it was really, really fun. I enjoy this roller coaster. Hold up. Wait a minute, take some thought and realize that this is not the #1 best roller coaster. Although if you've been a Coaster Fanatic fan for a long time and seen the top 10 wooden coasters beforehand, you will realize that this is not a surprise. For people that have not seen this is going to be a surprise. Yes, El Toro makes number 2. El Toro has some of the best airtime on any coaster just in general. It is relentless, the intensity is crazy, and oh my gosh, that nighttime ride just makes the ride even better. But I think what doesn't make the ride good at all is the seats. Now, the restraints are good, but what happens is when it goes into those non-stop bank turns, I kept hitting the seats, and not in a good way. Some type of body part, whether it was my funny bone or my head, it just hit the side or the seats, and it just did not feel good. It kind of killed the enjoyment of the ride. But other than that, it's just a great ride. Oh my gosh, is that airtime phenomenal. And I don't know how tall Colossus is at Heidi Park in Germany, but I do think that this is the tallest wooden coaster in the world. If not, it is the tallest wooden coaster in the US, and is just a very fun roller coaster. Yeah, I just think Outlaw Run is better. I mean, don't get me wrong, El Toro's a fantastic ride, but RMC just takes the cake when they make great wooden roller coasters. And I have a theory why this roller coaster is underrated. It's because since it's at Silver City, and it's a brand new roller coaster, not a lot of people have actually ridden it. When you talk about fantastic roller coasters, you mainly see them at some of the flagship parks. Silver City is a great park, but it's not as well known as like Cedar Point, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Kings Island. So when you have a great roller coaster at a park that's not as well known, not a lot of people are going to really go to it. Now, a lot of people who have gone on this roller coaster have definitely agreed with me that this is one of the best wooden roller coasters out there. Oh my gosh, this is have crazy inversions, an intense drop, and is by far the best nighttime ride on any wooden roller coaster that I've been on, and is fantastic. I love the airtime when the bank turns and airtime in general. I can understand why RMC is a great wooden coaster manufacturer. So thank you all for watching. This is the first out of a lot of videos that I'll be doing. I don't even know how much I'll be doing. I'll just be doing a lot of videos. Thank you all for watching this top 10 wooden coaster countdown that I have personally ridden these wooden coasters. Thank you all for watching, and as always, Coaster Fanatics, please keep coasting.